Greetings, youth of the Silver Spring, Maryland Stake. I am 12-time marathoner and 2-time Ironman Timothy Willis. I love to run, and looking ahead to the 5K you guys have coming up on June 12th and are hopefully preparing for, George asked me to create a 3 to 5 minute video on running. Now, there's nothing I wouldn't do for George. Unfortunately, George doesn't realize that I used to be on the High Council. And no one on the High Council is capable of speaking to any topic for less than 20 minutes, preferring to drone on about. We'll cut that part out. In today's video, we're going to talk about some of the ways I prepare for a run, some of the things I do before runs. And so I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to take you through an example of a race that I did just this past Saturday. So if you like what you see here, make sure you smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos that we put together for you. We're probably not going to do any more videos, so it might not make any difference, but you never know, so you might as well do it. Well, it depends on time of day, really, but the reality of it is that I don't eat anything usually after 6 p.m. or before noon. So, and I do most of my running in the morning. So, slap those two facts together, and I do most of my running in a fasted state. It works for me. It doesn't work for everybody. It depends on the distance too. It depends on the length of the run. So long runs over 2 hours or 13, 14 miles and up, I'll always eat before that. Palatable. Sometimes I'll eat pancakes. Sometimes I'll eat a couple of eggs. Sometimes I'll eat toast with peanut butter and bananas. I mean, those things all, it's all fuel. It's different kinds of fuel that it works. The problem with eating before running is you really need to wait a couple of hours for it to do you any good. Otherwise, it's just going to sit in your stomach. Your body needs time to digest it and convert it into actual energy. And in the morning, I just don't have that kind of time. So I'll just, I'll eat what I'm going to eat, and I usually go, and that's not usually optimal. 5K is a tough distance. It's hard. It's hard if you've never done 5K before. It's hard because you haven't done it before. If you've done it a bunch of times, it's hard because you're always trying to get faster. You're trying to do it faster than the last time, and you do enough 5Ks, and you get to the point where you're pretty much running full gas, red line the whole time. Well, speaking for me personally, I seldom cross a 5K finish line without wanting to throw up or feeling like I'm about to throw up. And when you feel that way, it's just safe to say it's better not to have food in your stomach. I probably don't stretch as much as I should. I do stretch. So before a run, I stretch never. I don't. It's not just because I don't feel like stretching. It's because I don't believe that stretching before a run is a productive activity. Your muscles are cold and tight before a run-in. It doesn't really make any sense to stretch them. The best thing you can do, what I've been told I should do, and I occasionally do it, is you do a light jog for a mile or two to warm up your muscles, and then stretch them, and then move on to the run proper. Now, do I actually do that? I'll tell you, the only time I actually do stretching that way is after an injury. When I've done something stupid, I've gone cold and run up the hill without any warm up because I'm an idiot, and I pull something and I'm hobbled for a week or two, and then I come back and I remind myself, okay, I don't want that to happen, and so I'll do the light jog and then stretch in the middle and then do the real run. Now after running, I stretch 100% of the time, or close to 100% of the time. I think stretching after you run is
far more beneficial, far more useful than stretching before you run. I mean, I think that's the right thing to do, and that's what I do. So my approach to eating and drinking during runs is pretty close to my approach to eating and drinking before runs. Again, on short runs, under an hour, I bring nothing. I take nothing with me. I don't eat or drink anything. And then on the longer runs, I usually pack a significant amount of fluid and figure out how I'm going to refill along the way. And I'll carry some food, like some pre-packaged food here. It's all junk, but and you wouldn't want to eat any of this stuff if you weren't actively burning a whole bunch of calories. But there are these stroopwafels that I like. I usually eat these on my bike, actually, because they're kind of hard to carry while you're running. This is a scratch bar. This is some kind of energy almond butter, which I don't know. Stuff that I've actually just collected over time. Is you order stuff and they send you these other junk that you don't ask for. My favorite thing to eat on a run, on really, again, long runs, is over 2 hours, are these little 1 ounce packets of pure maple syrup. And I'll take, I have a handful of these. That might sound gross if you've never eaten straight maple syrup, but it's delicious, and it's terrible for you, pure sugar. I wouldn't recommend it, again, unless you're actively in the act of burning calories, but it's good. I mean, it gets into your bloodstream quick, and it's a good pick-me-up, and I like how it tastes. Again, you guys are doing a 5K. There is no reason to eat or drink anything during a 5K. Every time I run a 5K and they've set up like a water table or something halfway through, which they always do, I always ask why. There's just, your body can store, and no matter how in shape or out of shape you are, your body can store enough fuel and water for a 5K. You can do it. You don't really need anything along the way. You don't need all this extra distraction. You don't want to carry junk with you. Just go. When you watch the 5K at the Olympics, it's on a track. Then they go around the track 12 and a half times. It's not like on lap 6 there's somebody's mom out there with the Gatorade saying, "Hey boy, you want some?" Just do it. You don't need anything. What are you looking at? These people in front of us have a license plate that says Tri-Devil, and they're driving a Subaru Outback, so that's like double layers of pretentiousness stacked on top of itself. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Do you have your USB?
It takes 50 people to get to that
So I'm going to be number 162. I was hoping to be 162. I drove all the way down here hoping I would be 162. Thank you. Hey, how you doing?
What size shirt would you like?
Medium, please.
Medium socks, okay?
That'd be great.
And tips at the end.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? I'm here for my 162.
Awesome. It's gonna go around your left ankle, and if you need any pins, they're right here.
Thanks a lot, man. You're awesome. How's it
doing,
going,
sir?
man? Mind if I park here next to you?
Good. That makes
Alright.
3, plenty of room here.
Yeah, well, they usually make us cram like 6 bikes on here, and I don't know if they'll make us do that this time. So the swim went okay, I guess. I was hoping to get just like 34 or 35 minutes. I ended up doing 39 minutes, which is not good. But when I looked at my watch, I mean, my watch thinks that the course was considerably longer than it was billed as. It's supposed to be a 1,900 meter course, a 1.2 mile course. My watch thinks it was like 2,200 and something meters, which is, you know, more than 300 meters long. Now, watches are notoriously bad at GPS in the water, but so it's always off a little bit. But 300 meters is a lot to be off. So I don't know. I'm inclined to think it may have been a little long. And if it was that long, then that was a really good swim for me. The bike took, I think, 2 hours 52 minutes. I was hoping for 2:45. It was really uneven for me. I started off, I felt really strong for the first 60 Ks or so. It's a 90K course, 56 miles. And then the last 20 miles, I just, I really flagged. I just wasn't feeling great. So that's just a fitness problem. So underperformed there. Got to own that. And then on the run, it's gonna sound like I'm making excuses. I mean, I'm not making excuses. This is what happened. So a week ago, yesterday, so 8 days ago, I injured my left calf on a run. I did something stupid. So I laid off it, you know, the whole week pretty much. Just did a little bit of light jogging to see how it would hold up. And my plan on the run today was to go out really easy, take really short strides, and just try not to stress the calf very much at all. And that strategy worked for about 5 miles. I mean, it was slow, but it was, you know, it was okay slow. And then sometime on mile 6, it just the cumulative effect, it just got really, really painful and got hard to walk even. So I had to limp in the last 7+ miles. So I think my half marathon split ended up being like 2 hours, 15 minutes or something, which is a little embarrassing. But you know, there's a lesson in that for running. In races, it's okay to change your goals during a race. My goal for this race was 5 hours and 30 minutes total. It was pretty clear within the first couple of miles of the run that the 5:30 goal was not going to go down. And so I was thinking, well, 5:45 is, I didn't expect to do any worse than 5:45. So for a while I was like, well, if I can get it under 5:45, I'll be happy with that at this point. And then after I injured myself and started slowing way down, I started thinking, okay, well, 5:45 is out the window. And then I started thinking about 6 hours. So for me, 6 hours is the difference. That's the line of demarcation between just a bad race and an unmitigated disaster of a race. And so that actually motivated me to walk a little less and sort of limp / jog / I don't know what. And then the closer you get to the finish line, the more you're able to endure any pain. So just gutted through that as ran as I did as it was, and I crossed the finish line in 5 hours and 54 minutes. So missed the goal by 24 minutes, but came in 6 minutes under the unmitigated disaster line. So it's over, and there we are.
Well, I've had 3 days to process it. Statistically speaking, Saturday's race was my worst performance since 2013. How do I feel about that? Well, obviously I wish it had gone better, but I'm fine with it. Running is like life in 1,000 different ways. One of those ways is that things just go badly sometimes. Sometimes it's my fault entirely. Sometimes it's circumstances beyond my control. Usually it's a combination. But, bad races make it easier to appreciate good races. And you can always learn from setbacks. One of the things I'm learning from this setback is that I can't always avoid injury, but I can greatly reduce the likelihood of injury by properly preparing for my runs in the ways that we were talking about earlier. I can actually warm up properly rather than throwing myself headlong into things, as is my wont from time to time. I feel like the universe has taught me this lesson 100,000 times. Maybe this will be the time that I actually remember it. Anyway, I hope you have a great 5K. If it's your first one, I hope it launches you into a lifelong love affair with running. I am living proof that you don't have to be great at running to love it, to find solace in it, to find great happiness in it. So remember, pain is temporary. Go get 'em.